Hi, good morning, guys. Hello, everyone. Wish you a very, very good morning and also a very happy Ganesh Chaturthi to everybody. Such a great day and a great morning. Okay, guys. So, guys, keep your eyes on the clock as the quiz will start soon. Good morning, everyone. Once you're going to be back from your quiz, we are going to go ahead with our class, our yoga class today. So, get started for your quiz. Preeti, Margo, I don't take messages personally. If you have something, you could ask me here. And yes, if you have any question or query, Preeti, you can ask me right here. I am not taking questions personally. And okay, guys. So make sure you are keeping your eyes on the clock. I'm not sure if on your screen the quiz has started or not, because to me it's kind of showing a little differently. Okay, guys. So once people are going to be back from the quiz, we are going to discuss 5 yoga asanas for lungs and breathing problems. As you all know, I'm Nishtha Bijlani, your Goki coach, and you're watching me live on Goki Play. We are having a great time doing the India Health Quiz, and I hope you're having a great time. Even if you're not making 50 on 50 in your quizzes, I hope you're learning a lot. I hope you are getting so much more new information and following up with so many other coaches who are helping you learn more things, stay healthier, stay fit. Yeah. Hey Preeti, if you have a lot of acidity, just make sure that you are also firstly in touch with your doctor. You need somebody to look at you personally for that. Doing all those things that increase your acidity is something you need to watch out. So make sure you're not doing things that increase your acidity, which is eating oily, spicy, fried food. I hope you know that. And not keeping too much gap between your meals, because that also aggravates your acidity. So make sure you're not doing that. And drinking a lot of cooling and comforting things for the body, not having anything that is too hot, too fried, too spicy, that is going to aggravate it. Okay. So those are small things that you can watch out for. Other than that, make sure you are in touch with your doctor and you get somebody who is looking at you personally to help you out, be it a yoga teacher, be it going to the gym as well, whatever it is, but some kind of personal attention that you can receive, it would be better for you. Okay, guys, so I believe the quiz is now over, and we shall get started with our class. Get on the mat with Nishtha Bijlani, as you all know, is what my class is called. And today we're discussing 5 yoga asanas for lungs and breathing problem. So we have all heard of pranayam, breathing exercises, which is all great. But at some times in the beginning, when you have not started with anything at all, just getting to pranayam can be very challenging and difficult for a lot of people. Pranayam actually can be a very advanced practice if you have not done enough exercise, enough yoga asana practice to open up your lungs, to open up the muscles and stretch open the muscles around the lungs, the rib cage, the chest cavity. So when that has not happened, then breathing anyway becomes difficult, and especially when it comes to pranayam. So asana practice on a regular basis helps you to stretch open the muscles around the lungs, the chest, the rib cage, which help you to expand the lung capacity, and how you intake your inhalation. Your inhalation, your exhalation start to become longer, more effective. You're able to breathe better. So all those things start to change in the body, as a result of which your pranayam and other stuff start happening. A lot of things start getting taken care of. Even when you're doing asana practice, in yoga practice, we're always inhaling, exhaling during every posture, which allows you to expand the muscles and allows you to breathe better. And this preparation really helps for pranayam and meditation as well, and doing advanced pranayam becomes easier and more doable then. That's why asana practice is a very important base. For that matter, even exercising in general, if asana practice is not accessible to you, is a very good base to be able to breathe better, to not have breathing problems, to reduce the effects of asthma, to just fill your body with so much more oxygen, to release that excess stagnant carbon dioxide from the body as well. Yeah. Okay, seems like your quiz is all done. Nice to have you guys return from the quiz. I believe with every passing day it's getting tougher. Okay, guys, so that's great to know, Dev. I really like your attitude and I really like your outlook towards it. Okay, guys, so getting back to the class, very soon I'm going to shift the camera to my mat and we are going to get started with 5 yoga asanas for lungs and breathing problems, like I mentioned. Yes, Avinash, I'm going to repeat. Like I was mentioning, that when we think of breathing problems, breathing exercises, we think of pranayam, but a lot of times our body is not ready for it because our lungs haven't opened up enough. The muscles around the lungs haven't stretched open enough, and that is where asana practice comes in to play. Asana practice or even exercising helps you to expand the muscles around the lungs, the chest, the ribcage cavity, which as a result increase the capacity of the lungs, because of which we breathe better, because of which we are eliminating excess carbon dioxide from the body, and this exchange of inhalation exhalation happens in a better way, and it helps you to just be healthier, fitter, increases the oxygen supply, which as a result increases and improves your blood circulation, improves the functioning of a lot of your organs, asthmatic problems and many other respiratory problems like allergic reactions. All of that starts slowly getting reduced, and it gets taken care of if you are being really regular, and if you once you have improved and once you have really build your foundation in asana practice, and then when you start to do pranayama as well, it starts to become so much more effective. Because whenever we do asana practice, with every movement there's an inhalation and exhalation, so your body is already learning to breathe, and then slowly we make it a focused breathing when we are doing only pranayama. Yeah, so today let's do a little bit of both, and I'm going to shift the camera to the mat so you can have a look, and we can get started with the class. Okay, I would request all of you to get to your mat and get started practicing with me, because it's very helpful in that manner where you are doing it with me and learning it better, or rather than just watching and then forgetting and doing it wrong. Because yoga, even though it is said to be so effective and harmless, it doesn't cause injuries, but it can cause injuries if you are not doing it correctly, and if you're not taking care of alignment and a lot of other things. Yes, so please have a look, do it with me, and very simple things, a lot of it are, so that you don't forget and you get a good practice along with me. Yeah, so we shall get started. Yeah. Okay, so we are going to start with what is known as Sukshma Vyayam. Okay, so Sukshma Vyayam is also known as, translated as little exercises, small exercises, can be considered a warm-up, is looked at the smaller regions of the body, like joint rotations, etc., to open up the body completely and wake up your body, especially in the morning. Yeah, so we'll start first with neck rotation and circling the neck up. This is a must. You must do neck exercises every time when you wake up. Okay, and come back. And looking left to right, right to left. Okay, then we will move in for shoulder stretches. So first let's take the palms facing up and stretch open all the way behind to the head and come back. Again, stretch open and come back. Let's take alternate hand movement up and down. Okay, and to the sides. Okay, then from here, open 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, and move a little bit to the open up your feet and stretching to the sides. Okay, then interlock fingers, and forward drop. Okay, and then getting your feet together on your toes, stretch arms up in Tadasana. Going on your tiptoes. And release. Okay, now we'll just do tip, heel and toes, toes and heels, toes and heels, toes, heels. Okay, so all these little exercises and movements that we did is known as Sukshma Vyayam, which is very good to get started up with the body, to warm up the body, to get the blood circulation going. And before you do major asana practice, before you do the poses, before you do the asanas, your body needs to be open at some level, and this Sukshma Vyayam practice helps you to do just that. It helps you to open up the body and allows you to do your asana practice much better. Sometimes when you don't have the time to do anything else, you can do just these little exercises and movements, and that is a good thing if you cannot make time for more. Yeah, it's a good way to get started. Now let's come down onto the mat, and we're going to first come in on this lying down position, and we're going to start with Bhujang Asana. So we're going to lie down on the mat and get started with Bhujang Asana. I'm going to position myself this way. Okay, palms by the sides of the chest, legs are straight. Inhaling, push and up. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhale. Exhale. And then interlock your fingers, stretch arms open, lift up. Then holding onto your feet for Dhanurasana. Hold the outsides of your legs. Inhale to lift your body up. Move your legs away from the body so you can completely stretch open. Slowly come back into Balasana, Child's Pose. And then we move on to Matsyasana. The fourth position we go to is Matsyasana, fish pose. Okay, if you have any neck injury, please avoid this pose. And we're going to expand the upper spine and open the neck. So, first we will lie down. Take your hands under the hips. completely straightened out, okay? And then stretch your legs out fully, and then pushing the palms into the mat, lift your chest up and place the crown of the head on the mat. Okay, next from here, release the hands completely and bring your knees bending, going for the bridge pose or the Setu Bandhasana. Okay, place your palms and feet on the mat and prepare to lift the hip up. And then turning to the side. This was the fifth pose that we finished. Now come back up in a seated position. So all the postures that you did really help you to have an impact around the lungs, stretch the front of the body from your lungs to your diaphragm to your abdominal region, expanding the region around your lungs, helping you to breathe better, helping you to stretch open, so that your oxygen capacity can increase, and you can also start to breathe more effectively, more productively. Yes, so one thing is very important, that you take care and you're more aware of how you breathe. Before you want to start changing anything about yourself, especially if you have respiratory problems, it's very important that you start observing and become aware. Take notice of how you are breathing. Are you breathing from your mouth? Are you breathing from the nose? Ideally, you should be breathing only from your nose, not from your mouth. So your mouth is not meant for breathing, your nose is meant for breathing. So making sure that you're breathing from your nose. Are you breathing shallow? Are you breathing fast? Are you breathing heavy? Your breathing should be normal and relaxed. So when you start doing asana practice, it all starts changing, because every movement is about inhale, exhale, along with stretching open the body. And a combination of breath when you stretch open the body is so helpful, because you're releasing the emotional blockages, the physical blockages in the body, which also have an impact on how you're breathing. Okay, at the same time, how you breathe is because of how you're thinking. So your breath and your thinking, your thoughts are very connected. So watching how you breathe, how you think is also going to change. If you're breathing very fast, probably you're thinking of those things that are making you breathe fast. Yes, when your breathing is nice and relaxed, is because your thought process is also nice and relaxed. So start to watch these things to make a real change in your body. Now we're going to do one breathing exercise here, which is more like a cleansing kriya. So here it is a Kapalbhati, but it is a single nostril, individual Kapalbhati. Yeah, individual nostril. So we are going to shut one nostril, do Kapalbhati from say only the right and then only the left. This helps you to activate and open up both the nostrils, because sometimes only one is functioning, the other is not functioning fully. So to get both the nostrils working effectively, to eliminate the toxins from the nostrils, eliminate excess carbon dioxide, and get your lungs and your diaphragm pumping and active. Yes. So let's come in any comfortable position, shutting your left nostril, only exhaling actively from your right nostril. Okay, Kapalbhati. Your inhalation will be passive. It doesn't mean you're not inhaling. It is happening without you realizing. Your exhalation has to be active. To change nostril now. Enjoying the silence and the after effect of the Kapalbhati. And just going in for a forward fold, walk your hands forward. And slowly come back. Yes. So if you have any questions regarding today's class, do ask me. We'll take any questions right now, and then we will be ending the session soon. Okay guys, if there's any questions regarding today's class, do ask me. Narendra, well, you can do Anulom Vilom anytime. Well, the ideal answer is that you should ideally do it early in the morning, or even in the evening is fine. Or if you have to even do it in the middle of the day, making sure that you have not eaten too much food, you are at least empty stomach, or you've had a gap of 2.5 hours after your meal. So not doing pranayam when you have food in your body is very important. So that is one thing. Otherwise you're okay, but ideal practice would be great if you're doing early in the morning, or even in the evening is a good way to balance and stabilize the body. Or else make sure you haven't eaten too much food. Hi Faiz, well, you have to obviously refer to your doctor. You are talking about lower back bone pain problem. It could be multiple reasons what exactly your pain is. Of course your doctor has to look into it. If you are already going to your doctor and he's already recommended you medication, then make sure you are personally going to a yoga teacher, or you're going to a chiropractor or a physiotherapist. So getting some physiotherapy is also important for you, so they can only concentrate on strengthening your lower back. So through this platform, it wouldn't be appropriate for me to give you any suggestion, because I have no idea of exactly what your lower back problem is. So making sure that you are in touch with your doctor and taking all his advice, at the same time going to a physiotherapist. And if your condition is very, very, very bad, then please make sure you go to an orthopedic or a bone doctor. Vinod, yes, general lower back pain is eased and also released with the kind of stuff we did right now, with all the asana practice we did right now, because stretching open your back in Bhujangasana, in Shalabhasana, Dhanurasana, all the postures we did in bridge pose, Setu Bandhasan, very helpful for the lower back pain. It completely releases the stress. So general lower back pain, yes, where you don't have any disc bulge, hernia, and any serious conditions, yes, all of these are very safe to do. Okay. So the breathing exercise that I showed you right now, Divya, which was only Kapalbhati, because today we were focusing on the asana practice to work on lungs and breathing problems and to expand the muscles around the lungs. So we only did Kapalbhati Kriya, which was a modified version of individual nostril breathing. This particular one, or even full Kapalbhati, you can do it for about 2 to 3 minutes minimum to begin with, maybe, or even lesser if you want. It depends on how comfortable you are actually. So you can do up to 20, 30, 40 breaths on one nostril each. Maybe lesser if you want to go lesser. Speed can be lesser. You don't have to go too fast. So it's completely your choice. When you're beginning, you don't have to do too much. You don't even have to aim for too much. Even when you're not beginning and you don't feel like doing too many rounds, it's completely fine. Yeah. So going slow is the way to it, and slowly building your time and capacity would be good. Umesh, always doing your asana practice with in the morning is the best, yes, but still, if there are certain things like certain postures, you can also do at the end of the day, in the evening or in the late morning, but making sure that you have not had your meal immediately, at least keeping a gap of 2.5-3 hours, so that your body is empty and it can do a lot of things. You need that agility in the body, so that would be ideal in that case. So Tridev, if you're not fully comfortable with full normal Kapalbhati, then doing the individual nostril Kapalbhati would be a good way for you to begin, because it allows your nostrils one at a time to get adjusted to it, and do only few rounds. But making sure, if you're doing Kapalbhati, you're not suffering from acidity, hypertension, high blood pressure, that those things are very important. Any gastric problems are fine, but having any kind of burn or acidity, ulcers in the stomach, hernia, piles, please avoid doing Kapalbhati in that case. Yes. Well, Krishna, increasing height is like so much of a genetic thing. Yoga asanas just help you to stretch open your body, and you may feel like you have grown taller, but not exactly are you increasing your height. Yes, let us just keep that to good diet, good food, and genetics. So, all right, guys. So here I have to be taking a leave, and I hope you had a good class and a good session, and hope it was helpful and easy for you to understand. I will be seeing you now next on Friday morning at 7:30 a.m. Till then, keep up with the India Health Quiz and go strong and keep making your points. At the same time, make sure you are up to date with all the other coaches and learning as much as possible from all of them. Yes, thank you very much. Stay safe, practice safe, and hope you have a great day. Happy Ganesh Chaturthi to everybody. And make sure you don't hog on too many modaks. Keep it little, keep your health in check, and be the force. Thank you so much.